All right, well, you know what? We're going forward.
Okay.
I want to do it now. I respect that shit happens. I'm tough with people too. So now, Shy Rob was interviewing. She said you were the first guys to put graffiti in your clothes.
Right.
So,
you know what I inspired? Them 8-ball jackets. You see the 8-ball jackets?
I don't know about 8-ball, but
no, I'm saying you seen them.
You don't know about 8-ball?
I know, but I didn't like them. I said.
I'm saying I inspired that.
I didn't like them.
I didn't know.
I gave it away. Grace gave it to me. So, fuck you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I had a fall ball painted on the back of my jacket. And whoever saw that, whoever created that 8-ball, seen that fall ball, said, "Oh shit, I'm gonna do an 8-ball." I inspired that jacket.
That's dope.
Who made the when y'all were doing graffiti back? Who did your graffiti stuff here? Who did the work?
We had Buddy Esquire. Buddy Esquire did all our flyers and he did all our clothing. You know what I mean? We were the first to have graffiti on our clothes.
With the bell bottoms and all that, he did all that.
We had the flares.
Don't worry about that.
We had the flares, so we could paint our names on the
sides.
That's all right. Stop the camera.
Haitian gorilla dance. I'm giving you all that fire. Realism. Subscribe to the Big Face Gary Show YouTube. If you don't subscribe, you might not see it. That's not happening because we never gonna stop. Subscribe to the Big Face Gary Show YouTube. Subscribe to the Big Face Gary Show YouTube. Subscribe to the Big Face Gary Show YouTube. Holla, ha.
Your little snippets or whatever. I want you to entitle it Hip Hop History with Rodney C.
I promise.
And just
we'll do
whatever little snippets y'all put out. You know what I mean?
That's what I just said. That Hip Hop History with Rodney C. Like, that's going to give him his pioneer justice. This is real shit.
So you know what? You're wrong. I got something to tell you about. We'll talk after this.
We can do 16, boom, and it could spread throughout 2 months.
Little Frankie got to do like the Chiefs, and then we'll go forward. Now, this question's a little emotional, but I don't give a fuck. There's no dog in my fight. Afrikka Bambata allegedly has issues of playing with little boys, and it's been documented. The kid said it happened to him. What's your take on that, man?
Well, I kind of got caught up in that at different times in my life.
You've been asked this question before?
Yeah, I've been asked the question and I've been caught up in it. Okay, I was living in England. Me and KK actually went over to England. There was a group called Beats International. They are like the European Wu-Tang, right? And the guy who was the leader of the group, his name is Norman Cook. And Norman Cook put out, he put out a record. He had a group called Beats International, right? He had a whole bunch of different artists. He put out a song called Won't Talk About It, right? And he synchronized the stoop scene from Wild Style with me and KK. Here's a little story that must be told about two cool brothers that were put on hold. He took that and synchronized it to his track. The track took off and went top 10 all over the world, right? Because he didn't have permission to do it, they had to reach back out to us and cut a deal with us, right? So we cut the deal with them. Now, they were initially gonna send an 8-man crew to America to film me and KK sitting on the stoop doing our little piece, right? Somebody in their fiscal department said, wouldn't it be cheaper to bring 2 people to England than to send 8 people to America? That's how we end up going over to overseas, right? Me and KK, we the first duo to go overseas, all right? While we're there, we were only supposed to have been there 11 days. But then I found out we had 6 months on our passports. We ride in a top 10 single. This shit going top 10 all over the world. I'm telling K, like, I ain't going back to New York. That nigga said, you crazy. I said, I could show you better than I could tell you, right? What we gonna do? Nigga, we gonna stay. We gonna ride this shit till the wheels fall off. And that's what we did. We went over to England April 6, 1990. Reason why I know the date, because that's my daughter's birthday. We stayed 6 months till November, right? We ended up getting deported, right? But while we were there, we did like 5 or 6 different projects with different artists. Because once they realized we was there, they was on us like we was giving away money. So we did a whole bunch of records with a whole bunch of different people. And there was a record label called Gold Disc that had Beats International. And they wanted to sign us, but they wanted all our publishing, and I wasn't going for that. I was like, nah, I ain't me. So we just kind of just freelanced it. We ended up doing an interview at the first black-owned radio station in South London. It was called Choice FM. And they didn't have a rap program. So I'm like, yo, why y'all ain't got a rap show? And they was like, well, we don't have nobody to do that. So I'm like, me and my man to do it. We don't know shit about working in the radio station, but I'm talking fast. And they was like, just okay. So now, to get a job in another country, you gotta be able to do something that nobody else in the country could do. Of course, it was host a rap show. So we got it. Okay. KK didn't end up going back with me. I ended up going back by myself. So I ended up being in England almost 4 years by myself. I talked the radio station into helping me produce a classic old school hip hop show. So I was gonna bring the Cold Crush, the Fantastic, the Furious, the Treacherous, you know what I mean? So I had just all the classics. Okay. The radio station said they would help me. They would book the venues, you know, take care of all the security, the radio promotion and all of that. What they weren't going to do was pay for the 60 flights that I needed to bring everybody over, right? So there was a young lady named Wendy Day, the white chick, and she was trying to do like a hip hop union, right? So I called her. I said, yo, Wendy, I need some help. You know what I mean?
Hold up. Is it leading to Afrikka Bambata thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make sure.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
So what ends up happening is she gives me a number to this dude named Leo, right? So I call Leo, right? So I'm talking to Leo, right? TC Islam is working in the office at the same time. Y'all know who TC Islam is?
No.
TC Islam is the brother that said that Bambata was gay, and then 2 months later he ended up getting murdered. You know what I mean? Down in Atlanta.
Okay.
Okay. But what ends up happening is I call Wendy. I tell her my situation. She put me in touch with Leo. I call Leo. Leo is running Bambata's office. I don't know it, but he's running Bambata's office. So I'm talking to this dude, and I'm telling him what I'm trying to do, right, this and that. So they were doing the B-boy thing. So he was like, listen, as long as we could do a B-boy competition during your events, we'll help you pull it off. I'm like, all right, cool. He called Bambata. He told Bam, yo, Bam, I got Rodney C in the office, blah, blah, blah. But he said, Bam said, give him whatever he need. You know what I mean? Boom. Okay. So now I'm flying back and forth to Europe. You know what I mean? Setting up the dates and all of that, making sure we doing the promotion and all of that. I did 2 tracks, and it was called Back to the Essence, because that's what we was calling the tour, Back to the Essence. What ends up happening is Bambata puts 2 of his Zulu queens in my office. So they're working with us. And I guess they there to help, but I'm thinking more now they were there to be spies.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is one of them asked me a question. And the question that they asked me was, do you think Bambata's gay? Right? This was my response. I don't know. I ain't never seen him with a girl, but I don't know. Right? That was my response. Okay. One of them fell out with my current wife, right? I'm in England. My wife threw the chick out, like, don't come back till he get back. I don't know what happened between the 2 of them. So they run back and tell Bambata whatever they told him. I don't know what they said to him, right? But he basically killed my project at that point.
Okay.
Right? Okay.
Oh,
now,
man.
So the feedback I get is somebody's embezzling money from his organization. He don't know who's doing it. He's shutting everything down, right? I'm like, okay. Now, I put a lot of work into putting this tour together, right? Okay. After that, he puts out an album called Back to the Essence. Took the title on my fucking tour.
Damn.
Not only that, I had 2 singles that we was promoting in England. I had a hip hop version and I had an R&B version of Back to the Essence that we was using to promote the tour. This nigga put out an album called Back to the Essence.